but it's not. Unfortunately, that brings the game down a notch in my opinion. On the bright side, the music is still decent, so what I'm going to do is give you a few examples of the musical tracks within this game to hopefully cheer you up.
Did your Wi-Fi go down? No, no, no. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Yeah, I did some. I was cosplaying Hatsune Miku at Hyper Japan, which was really fun actually because it's just a fun event. Hyper Japan. I took some photos with some decked out cars in like decals of like anime and things like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they got lots of like people selling all sorts of things like to do like with crafts and also like Japanese food and drink and stuff like that. They had like some sakura trees, or fake sakura trees mocked up, and there was like a few different cars there you could take photos with, which really suited what my cosplay actually Hatsune Miku.
So moving on to the gameplay next, and it's somewhat of an underwhelming experience here because it plays identically to Worldwide Soccer 97. The controls are identical, the moves that you can pull off are exactly the same. There is absolutely no difference in the gameplay department, which is slightly frustrating because it means all the niggles from the previous game are still here. They've not been ironed out. The dodgy goalkeepers, the fact you can stand in the corner with the ball facing away from an opponent and just let the time tick away and they don't tackle you. Other frustrating things like the fact the gameplay just feels slightly delayed and predetermined. It still feels like that, and it's frustrating. They had a whole year where they could have fine-tuned the gameplay, made it into a quicker playing, more responsive title to compete with the other football games that were coming out at the time. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they didn't bother, which means in the gameplay department, it's just frustrating. It doesn't play terribly, it still plays better than some of the other football games around at the time, but for me, the fact that they didn't improve the responsiveness and the fluidity of the gameplay means it just feels lacking in the gameplay department.
20 minutes remaining now. He's trying impose himself on the game.
Max? Max?
Is your dog getting creative to avoid having their teeth brushed?
So moving on to the content and lifespan next, and without a doubt this is the strength of the game. We've still got the International Worldwide Cup, but this time the International League has been replaced by the Club League, which for me is the best mode of play, playing through an English Premier League season with those teams, mainly because they've got real players. It definitely adds something to the game. We've still got the penalty shootout, and we've still got the cup tournament where you can select the number of participating teams, which are good. We've still got the edit player mode where you can go in and edit all the names of all those players. Obviously, all the international players have got fake names. The English Premier League teams do have real player names, which is good. A downside is the fact that a lot of them don't have their right foot associated with them. Some of them are listed as the wrong positions as well, but the fact that they've actually got real player names is a great plus point. Now, the game does have French club teams and Spanish club teams as well. The downside is you have to select that language for the game to be in to be able to play as those teams. So if you want to be a Spanish team like Barcelona, you need to set the in-game language to Spanish. If you want to be Bordeaux, you need to set the in-game language to French, which is very frustrating, which means you cannot have cross-national club team games. For example, you cannot play Barcelona against Arsenal within this game. In terms of additions over the previous game in terms of content, we've actually got 5 stadiums available for selection instead of 3. But other than that and the addition of club teams, the game really is exactly the same. The Worldwide Cup takes a long time to play. So does the Club League. Like I said, they're the main modes of play. How much enjoyment you're going to get from them really depends on probably if you played Worldwide Soccer 97 to death. If you have, like I had when I originally played this game, I felt this game didn't really offer a whole lot, even though I loved being able to play as Arsenal with Ian Wright and Dennis Bergkamp and all those other players that are in the squad at this point in time. I felt because it played exactly the same and it offered so little new over Worldwide Soccer 97, the lifespan of the game just wasn't there for me. It was overall a disappointing experience, basically just because they hadn't added enough new content to the game.
Enormous pressure on the goalkeeper.
So like always, that leaves us with our 2 final questions. Is Sega Worldwide Soccer 98 still worth having a go on today, and does it make our Sega Saturn top 10? I think most people are going to be able to guess my answers to both of these questions. I said that Worldwide Soccer 97 wasn't really worth playing today, mainly due to the fact that the way it played, it felt delayed and it felt slightly unresponsive and predetermined. And that applies here as well, because this game plays exactly the same as Worldwide Soccer 97. So I kind of feel if you play this game now, you're just going to feel that little bit frustrated and you'll probably want a little bit more. Of course, that means it can't enter our Sega Saturn top 10. It is nowhere near a game that wasn't too bad in its time, but really hasn't aged very well at all, especially in the gameplay department. And the overall feeling for me is just a sense of disappointment that they didn't build on Worldwide Soccer 97 and offer something that was slightly more polished, more complete and more comprehensive in the way it played. It just leaves that little bit of distaste in my mouth, even all these years later. But like always, these are my thoughts and my thoughts alone, and I'm always interested in what everybody else has to say about Worldwide Soccer 98. Were you disappointed when this game came out like I was? Did you pay full price for it, having already paid full price for Worldwide Soccer 97 the year before? If so, did you give it as much gameplay time as Worldwide Soccer 97? Because I, for one, definitely didn't. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and like always, I'll be back in the near future with another review. Goodbye for now.
I know, Vin. Biden dropped out. Do you know who may be the next president of the year? I don't know, man. You guys still a while away, right? For the election, right? So. Michelle Obama. You think so?